future gods and goddesses, welcome back to the channel. This is Primal Sutra. We're here to win every single day. We're leveling up, spiraling upwards, just like the DNA double helix spirals upwards. We just continue to spiral upwards with that integration, with that midpoint energy, that energy and frequency that cuts through the noise, that cuts through illusion, because we rest in truth. Truth is the middle path. Truth is always the one where you can peer through the edge of something. It's not polarized, it's not lopsided, it's not one-sided, it's not the priest and it's not the beast. It is the priest beast, okay? It is the priestess beast. It is the combination or harmonious approach of yin and yang that will get you the greatest results in your reality. Now, you may disagree with me, you might have a different opinion about this. Fuck yeah, let me know in the comments, okay? But I think this is very, very key and very, very crucial, okay? A lot of people, they don't want to talk about these things. But I think it's important that we have a discussion about this today, because I'm talking about the red pill, okay? You as a man, if you've been watching a lot of red pill content, and it seeps in, right? As you're part of YouTube, it'll seep into the algorithm, and you'll find yourself watching more and more videos, okay? Like, for instance, you might have noticed a very common aspect of Andrew Tate videos, right? This guy's going at it. Look, listen to this guy's vocal cords, right? Straight up. But anyway, you might have been noticing an uptick of different types and styles of content, right? Specifically the ones that are going viral nowadays, okay? From Myron Gaines, from Fresh and Fit, to, you know, Andrew Tate, to Zerka, to, you know, Sneeko, to all of these guys that you're seeing slowly perpetuating this stuff out there. Now, I have nothing against this, and I study and analyze this content so that I can make my own justified opinion about this, okay? And I think right now, the world is split between a fragmented ego mechanism that's happening right now on the planet, where men and women are going against each other. It's like there seems to be some kind of a level of discrepancy where it starts to take control of your own mental world, right? Understand that that split is happening on a collective consciousness level. It's probably happening on a meta level, on an internal level, intra level, right? Intrapersonal level, I mean, like you're having a conversation with you, your self-talk, and that's creating these splits in understanding. Men have forgotten how to be men, women have forgotten how to be women, and I think it's because we're just so in this soup of these understandings and ideas and values that they've just been skewed. And you know, a lot of spiritual teachers, what they do is they shame the brain and the brain science. They go, yeah, the brain and the mind, they're different. You know, they create more of a split. And then the Cartesian split, you know, Descartes was like, I think, therefore I am. So everything became mental, everything became the mind, and we stopped focusing on our bodies, right? I noticed most of my life, I was very heady, right? I was very in my mind, not really embodying the truest version of myself that I knew would heal my traumas. And this is what I want to talk about, man, because red pill isn't really talking about healing traumas, okay? But this is a very, very key notion. And it's, again, it's a tantric understanding too, because say Myron Gaines, for example, right? He's saying that, oh, women, you know, it's not about the women's orgasm or the women's pleasure. Bro, women are multi-orgasmic beings. What are you talking about? It is about the women's pleasure as well. Like, it's not only about like you just getting a nut or whatever. Like, but think about it, in a hypothetical context, would it be that I'm not playing in those scenarios, bro? I'm playing in real life. What are you talking about, right? Yes, we can hypothetically think about some random situation. That's still the mind, okay? It's still mental. It's still some kind of a mental faculty. And I love reorganizing shit in my mind and like doing this shit. But again, there's got to come a time where you become integrated, where you start to heal your trauma. You start looking at your partner, who's a woman, and you start going, I need to help you heal your traumas. Don't save her, she don't want to be saved. I understand that's the narrative, but you kind of want to be her savior. Not in a simp-like way, but you are empowering yourself through the other person, and they're being empowered through you. So there is this Shiva Shakti dance happening with both of you. But if you take away your power and you become soft, you take on more feminine traits, you get anima possession. Someone was asking me about, how do I get rid of anima possession? Okay, how do I stop, you know, taking on these feminine traits in myself when I know that I'm a man, I know that I'm masculine, I can evolve and do these great things and take lots of action, but I just feel myself, you know, being more passive. It's because you're listening to all of these men all the time, and you're being submissive to them. You see, you're not leading, you're not causing things to happen, you're not creating things to happen. That is that energy of creation. If you understand that, okay, I'm being anima possessed, you haven't forgiven your mother yet. And this is just facts. I'm just putting it out plain and simple for you to understand, which is the first understanding of you as a man. Your first understanding of feminine energy is through your mother. If you do not learn how to love and forgive your mother, you will start carrying that resentment within you, carrying those feminine traits that your mother had. Okay? Those nagging qualities your mother has, you start to become nagging, right? In your own head. Because why? Because it's your inner critic, your inner voice is a combination of the yin and the yang within. Okay, there's 4 parts of the mind. We know this in Primal Sutra. By the way, if you want to learn more of this tech, I'm just giving you this basic tech right now. But if you want to go deeper, you understand that we will actually help you reshape your character, give you personalized channeling sessions if you join the Mystery School, okay, the Adepts program. And there we are going to guide you step by step, okay? Every week we're going to guide you, help you clean up your chakra points, help you really work with the deities of your choice to create a path working that's truly meant for you, okay? So look out for that. Click the link in the description. Let's go, okay? Let's upward spiral gang the shit to the moon and back, okay? And to the sun and back, okay? Then another example of Zerka, who's like, you know, he's very calm and collected, and then suddenly he'll like throw in a polarizing statement like, you're a whore, or whatever, right? And that kind of is this weird paradoxical thing that he's doing, right? With his own understanding in his own game and so forth. We've always got to like understand that there's different kinds of people out there, and the content right now that is becoming most viral is creating the most gap in people. What do I mean by that? There's something called stretch the gap selling, right? The understanding that where people are at and where they want to be. So let's say that they want to be at a different place in life, right? You want to actually look backwards and understand that where are they at right now? If they don't face the fact that where they are at right now, how can they possibly make that shift towards a different reality, right? So that would be almost bypassing the denial that people have, and a lot of this, you know, red pill stuff is being perpetuated through the understanding that, okay, there's a lot of people who are watching this content who are incels, or who are people who are actually socially inept. They don't know how to talk to women. Maybe they're virgins, maybe they're much more younger, right? And they're watching and perpetuating all this content, and it's affecting their mindset. You're thinking, wow, I want to make love to this woman, I want to have a great partner, but also she's a whore, right? It's like that programming in the back of your mind is going to slowly creep in to your waking life, okay? So you got to really be smart about this, okay? You got to really be smart about what you are letting into your internal world and what your internal belief systems are and your core limiting beliefs are, because it is until you heal your traumas and do the shadow work that you will start connecting with another human being, and it'll be this loving, fulfilling relationship with another person, okay? You want to drip your dopamine, enjoy and bask in the sunlight. Sunlight's a great way to drip dopamine. That's what I'm doing right now. There's many different ways for you to enjoy your life and not get into that, you know, burnout state where you become too young and then you fizzle yourself out. I know too many guys who have experienced this understanding that they're just pushing and grinding and hustling, and then they just burn themselves out and they have to recreate the whole entire process again from scratch, whereas they're actually starting from a level of experience. Okay, give yourself the positive boosts and not the wishful thinking type of positivity like, you know, I can stay up later, it's not going to be bad for me, I can go, you know, eat all this junk food, and the next day my body will process all of it perfectly. That's positive, exaggerated thinking. That's toxic positivity. You're bypassing it using positivity. You're bypassing it using these spiritual concepts, you know, like, oh yes, I'm a light worker being, and so I can never socialize, you know? I will take in too much of this other person's energy, and therefore I'll be forever alone, okay? Okay, you stick to your reality, man. If you're a light worker, you want to stay by yourself in a cave somewhere, go ahead and do that. But where is there a cave where you can be all alone? Okay, bro, that's what my dad was saying too. It's like, go around all the caves. They're all tourist traps nowadays. It's like, you can find someone there. You can go and meditate in a cave, but you'll still find people, right? You can't hide from people. That's the thing, because you are not going to be able to hide from you either. You're a person, are you not? Or maybe you're some kind of a, you know, you've labeled yourself as a different kind of a being or something like this. That's valid, but you're here in this human experience, so you might as well learn what to do and how to use these understandings, okay? So what I've understood is that the red pill is one side of the coin, right? You are getting polarized to one side, whereas you're not looking at the other side. And I like to remain neutral. I like to remain at the center point, because then I can make my most rational, objective choices, right? I can remain in the fact and my accurate thinking and actually energize my brain, knowing that it's going to energize my mind and improve my spiritual practice, okay? I'm not bypassing anything, I'm not pushing anything away. I'm acknowledging it, but then coming back to my truth and my core and my understandings, right? And it would be more so you are fine-tuning what you think the version of you that you truly prefer is, right? So if you start to incorporate that more and more and more every single millisecond, right, into your daily living experience, then you can start to, you know, stop invalidating yourself so much, you know, stop giving yourself all of these different, you know, walkthroughs and cheat codes and try to, you know, bypass and maneuver things, but rather you start to create much more of an internal power. So one thing that I've noticed is that these people who are coming along in this new age, right, they might be psychological operatives, okay, changing the culture at bay, changing the culture. We don't know, right, who's in power and who's kind of like behind the scenes, a psyop and all that stuff, right? But this understanding that trauma healing can break you out of the matrix is very, very powerful, because a lot of people, it's not toxic masculinity, it's not toxic femininity, it's wounded masculine and wounded feminine, okay? Men are hurt and women are hurt, and we need to get back into healing ourselves, fully delving into letting go of the past, letting go of all of those traumas, right? These aspects of trauma that you've experienced, understand there's very simple, effective ways that you can deal with this, okay? We've used some of this tech at Primal Sutra, where after a session with us, you just notice you're just free, you're more elated, you're more open and authentic and just being truly who you are, not being this kind of like weird shell of a human being, right? Trying to be cool or trying to, you know, set yourself apart in any way, right? Yeah, you can try to set yourself apart, but what are you truly living like? What are you being like? You know, what are you breathing like? Shout out to the book No More Mr. Nice Guy. I remember when I did another video here actually about that. But that's a great book, man. If you're a people pleaser, you need to read that. Like, I had recently a student of mine send me a message like, this is my problem, like, thank you for sharing this with me. And I highly appreciated that, because not a lot of people share this stuff, right? You need to go through some kind of a self-help rabbit hole to sometimes pull out some of these little nuggets, right, and things. The issue isn't you watching my videos, the issue is you watching my videos and then watching like something from Alex Hormozy the next second, and then you're going to watch something else, right, and then you're watching something else, and you completely missed out on what I was trying to tell you. An integrated man is okay flowing with reality. A man who is going with the flow is actually very connected to the feminine. However, you've also got to be the flow, not just go with the flow. You've got to make decisions, make choices, set boundaries. That's how the flow is going to get better. Okay, we think it's the opposite. We just have to let go of every single boundary and let go, have all the freedom in the world, and then you lose track of where you're going, what you're doing, right? It doesn't mean you have to think about your goals all the time. I want you to think from your goals, okay? I want you to think from the perspective of your goals already having been accomplished. And once you think from there and you reverse engineer it, you're living a completely different walk of life, man. You're not thinking in this weird toxic mentality, okay? The thing is, women have to put on a masculine polarity if they feel unsafe in the relationship, okay? If you feel like you are unsafe in the relationship, you're gonna take on what? Feminine traits in the relationship. It's called a polarity flip, as we like to call it, okay? So this happens at times, okay? Similar way, I mean, you have to forgive your father as a woman and your mother. I would say do it for both polarities. By the way, there's a bee right here buzzing, big ass bee, right? See that? Symbol of fertility. So let's go, okay? Upward spiral. And there's a dude in a motorcycle to a park, which is lit as fuck too. So let's actually break this down, okay? So this kind of mentality of red pill is like, oh, women are hypergamous, okay? They're always looking for the bigger, better deal, right? Going towards the next one. What kind of insecurity is that gonna bring up for you as a man? Not saying don't deny truth and don't deny whatever is going on, right? But if you're constantly regurgitating this stuff, it's gonna put you into this weak mindset of always projecting that state or that reality onto the woman, right? It's not really about her being her and her most authentic. You're actually seeing her as a pawn in a chess piece rather than another human being that you're communicating with. You see what I'm saying? So this kind of pickup culture, manipulative culture that's kind of like trying to, appease or present yourself in such a very specific way, that's not really gonna ideally work if you are trapped by that dogma. You get what I mean? Like if you're like scared to improve as a man just because you believe in hypergamy. Bro, I believe in hypergamy, but I'm not gonna fucking sit here and cry about it, okay, complain about it, and every single podcast talk about women, But then let's take the opposite example, okay, in an opposite perspective, where we see that, okay, there's this person who has more of a blue-pilled mentality, right, where he's completely ignoring all of this stuff, and he's kind of in la-la land, right, kind of floating around and not really doing anything about it. I'm talking about the God pill, which is you've got to allow yourself to understand that if you are rejecting the feminine, you're also rejecting half of God, okay, the yin. You are rejecting one aspect of that divine spark, that Sophia, right, which is the part of that gnosis. That oracle feminine energy is being missed, right? You haven't really fully delved into that feminine quality within you, which is required for your self-care and betterment, and to rest and heal and rejuvenate yourself as a man, okay? So you actually need, right? You actually need a little bit of this energy alive, okay? And understand, animals are all around me, right? Animals are always around me. I mean, check it out, man. This dog is making a cameo in the video randomly. Because, why? Because I'm vibrating high. I'm vibrating at this frequency and this energy. So, of course, there's going to be animals around this frequency, this understanding, because it's closest to the understanding that I am here. I am not wavering from my truth and my congruence and my reality and my authenticity and my alignment. I am here. Okay, I am here, I am here, I'm here. And that's why a man in his presence is so fucking attractive and magnetic. Because they understand, they're getting that drip dopamine, right? From being in the present moment and accelerating, activating that, like slowly letting that dopamine rise in the background, not creating a dopamine flush out of the system, a junk food, porn, like all these exaggerated chemicals that we're chemically inducing our brains to be more lazy, to be weaker, and so forth, right? And again, it's not shaming the brain, again, for being so weak, but actually getting it on our side, like drinking more water that's brain fuel, right? Omega-3s, which help you with dopamine, right? Especially EPA, right? There's not a lot of EPA in a lot of vegan stuff, too. So you gotta know about this stuff, right? Take supplements for that if you're vegan and so forth. It's good to have this information. It's good to have this wisdom. It's good to have this knowledge, right? Guys, so right now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's dragonflies floating above me, which actually tells me that this is a symbol of rebirth again, okay? Big symbol of rebirth that's happening, because I'm stepping into, today I have a client, tomorrow I have a client, day after, 3 days from now, right? I go to Shantiniketan, okay? Shantiniketan is the peace abode, okay? And there, I'm gonna be around nature. I'm gonna be attending my father's meditation retreat, okay, for 10 days. So be living with him, with all the other students of the Sangha in the community, and going to completely envelop myself in my internal world. So that's a symbol and sign that I need to go completely sober for these 10 days. Like completely not do anything, right? No cigarettes, no porn, no alcohol, no nothing, okay? And the reason why I'm doing this is like to challenge myself. I've noticed that through the challenge, the trauma healing becomes easier. If you give yourself a 3-day fast, for instance, it's gonna help you execute something in your mind, because you're going to be more aware of what your body's telling you in regards to your past trauma, right? And how it's going to come up and shape you in life, right? There's EMDR, where rapid eye movement, okay? Something like the butterfly hug, for instance. Let me show you guys actually the butterfly hug. It's very easy to do, okay? Let's say you're going through some kind of a big traumatic experience, right? Just simply this, right, can ground you and get you back to your certainty again, because you're giving yourself a feeling of familiarity. This is a very important idea that I want to actually stop this video on. But start to understand, anything that you want in life, any desire, says to you that I don't have that desire. So you have to live as if the desire's already been accomplished, in a sense. You have to think from that perspective, if that makes sense, okay? So let's say that, you know, you want to change your circumstance, you want a lot of money, you want, you know, change your locations, you want to go somewhere else, you want to, you know, you have a big following online, on social media, whatever it is that you crave. Your nervous system right now, thinking about that end goal, has not fully integrated it yet. You're kind of scared of that idea that, okay, I'm gonna actually end up getting that thing, right? Like, I'm gonna actually end up, you know, maybe getting multiple girlfriends, and that's scary to me, right? I don't know what I'll do, I don't know what I'd say, right? And so your nervous system, whatever you want in life, let's say it's a big following, right? Let's say you have 1 million subscribers or whatever, or 1 million followers. Can your nervous system accept that? Can it be like, well, obviously, I mean, naturally I'd get that many followers. I mean, I'm just doing my shit, you know? It's like normal. Or does it feel still, I'm pushing it, I'm kind of faking it, I don't know, I'm kind of pretending though, it's not really there. So it's about that high level of self-esteem where you relax your nervous system. Your parasympathetic nervous system has to relax to the idea of your goal, of your ambition, of what you're trying to aim and go towards. Your nervous system literally has to relax to that idea. Otherwise, the trauma is going to win. The trauma wants the opposite of that trauma in order to heal it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were bullied and you got beaten up, you got jumped. You need to learn how to fight. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't suddenly get into this mentality where you take away from whatever it is that you're doing, right? So let's say you've been through some kind of a very big trauma, right, in past. Let's say you've been through some kind of a sexual abuse. You have to have meaningful, connected sexual relationships again. You need to be in that trauma healing frequency where, you know, tantric sex also has a way to heal each other, because in tantra we call the penis the magic wand, and the vagina, it's almost like a healing mechanism, right, that's going on underneath the surface. And we actually are so desensitized in culture that we need to retrain ourselves to reconnect ourselves back to ourselves, okay? Which is weird to say, but that's kind of what, you know, we're doing. Remember, retrain your nervous system towards what you want, towards this understanding. Stop getting, you know, so wrapped up in all this red pill thinking and in all this mentality, because ultimately it's not real, okay? It's not real. You are building this fantasy. It's like the black pill guys. I keep telling them, right? If you keep perpetuating this bad state of mind, bro, you're gonna stay there because you're reinforcing your reality. Okay, now to the black pill guys who are like, hey man, I'm gonna look smacks, I'm gonna build myself, you're slowly moving into that red pill self-improvement space. That's great for you, you know, but you can't stay there. Again, a lot of people choose to stay with these labels and stay stuck and stay stagnant in these different levels of themselves, right? And holding different grudges and so forth. See what I'm saying? Like, that's not the way to be, man. You gotta be free, you gotta be open. You know what I mean? It's like you can't hold all of these burdens inside of you and carry all these burdens throughout your entire life, bro. You got to be open and free. Okay? Dog wants food. That's pretty obvious. Anyway, let's get it today, guys. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Hit that like and subscribe button. I already know. You guys are winners, man. In your heart of hearts, you're going to do amazing things in this world, and I already know. We're about to crush it on the next level, man. I can already feel it. Can you guys feel it? Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Us. Boom.